Hello, my name is Ava, and I'm here with Megan Lardie, writer of Kids. Oh, I need to ask you this. How do you pronounce? Hello, my name is Ava, and I'm here with Megan Lardie, writer for Kids Crack, a column for iIrish. So just to start off, how did you start writing Kids Crack?
Um, well, um, Sue Mangan, another columnist, is a good friend of mine, and she let me know that John O'Brien was looking for a new person to take over the kids column. And if I was interested, she suggested I reach out to John. So I got in touch with John, and I was just kind of on a fact-finding interview, for lack of a better word. Um, but if you know John well, you there's really no saying no to John. Once you say you're interested, you're in, you're hooked in. So that's kind of how it all started. So so I am St. Patrick's Day will be my fourth year, which I can't even believe, doing this. So
Yeah, and
um,
t tell me a little bit about the column. What sort of things do you talk about in it?
I like to kind of just find fun and interesting things to write about a lot with like traditions and customs and rituals and why we do the things we do. Um, I've actually learned a lot myself writing it. Like one of my Christmas ones was, why do we bring this tree from outside into our house? It seems kind of like a crazy thing. But it was interesting researching all of that. I've done a lot on St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick himself, the leprechaun, the shamrock. What does it all mean? How did it all become part of the Irish culture? Um, so that's kind of my goal, to kind of really just kind of teach fun facts.
Yeah, no, and then that's really cool because it seems like you're looking at it from the perspective of a kid, the things that you'd wonder about as a little kid, and then these things that we just sort of think are normal now.
Right.
Looking into that is
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did you connect with iIrish?
Um, I don't really remember. I've known John um for a really long time. Um, I don't even
Well,
remember the first time we met him.
yeah.
Um, but he's been involved in a lot of fundraisers um that I've been involved in as well, and that's kind of how I got to know him better. I
Mhm.
guess I sort of always knew who he was, but didn't really know him that well. So,
Yeah, and what do you like about working with iIrish and writing your column?
um, as a teacher, um, right now in the schools, there's so much time spent on, we have to teach this, and this because that's going to be on the test. So there's no time really for this fun stuff. And I remember in grade school, there was a teacher, Miss Malone. So anyone from St. James would remember her. She always was able to kind of squeeze in fun facts, or did you know this, or did you know this famous person was from Cleveland. And I feel that's part of something that's been lost in the schools right now. Kids don't know like these fun little facts. So that's how I kind of look at what I'm gonna write about. So that's kind of my goal.
No, it's unfortunate this kind of standardization of a curriculum and teaching for the test and that sort of thing. So it's awesome that you're working in those fun facts and
Right.
details about even just like the surrounding community and things like that.
Mhm.
And what is your own personal Irish background?
um So I was, both my parents are Irish, um, both grandparents are Irish. Um, so I've just always been raised Irish. We've tried to kind of trace back to which ancestors came over from Ireland, but they came over so long ago. that no one knows for sure. We were there, my husband and my parents and a lot of my siblings were there back in 1995. And we really tried to find where we were from. We were able to narrow it down to one of two places in Ackle, up on Ackle Island. So that makes sense because there's lots of people from Cleveland that have their roots in Ackle. So, but that's as far as we got. We never were able to pinpoint it for sure. But my parents signed me up for Irish dancing when I was in first grade. And that's just kind of how I got involved. And I've been in Irish dancing. I was in all through grade school, part of high school, kind of lost interest in the middle of high school, just doing other things. Then got back involved in, there was an adult Kaylee group that Eileen Stahl was running through Bobby Masterson, and kind of got back involved in that. And my husband was involved in it as well. I had known him really since we were little kids. And after a couple of years being back in the adult dancing, we started dating, and it was just a good fit. And so now just being part of the Irish community just works for both of us. So it's just been part of my whole life.
Yeah, so it's a good thing you started taking those Irish dance lessons in second
Right.
grade. Oh, that's really awesome. And what would you say that it means to you to be Irish?
In growing up here in Cleveland, I think being Irish means to me being part of the Irish community. And most of that, I would say, focuses on the dance and the music. We are very, very, very fortunate here in Cleveland to have so many talented musicians. For as long as I can remember, going out, my parents would take me to see Alec, to Gabriel, like years and years and years ago. And so it's fun to kind of see him still out there and how he's kind of changed what he's done, but he's still doing that. And the dance in Cleveland, again, we're very fortunate to have several very talented Irish dance teachers. So, and I think just being a part of all of that is, I feel like it's part of a bigger family. And so anytime that, we're out seeing music or at a dancing competition or anything like that, it's just a lot of good people getting together. So it's kind of like an extended family, really. So.
And that community really that you're a part of, what to you is the most meaningful or most important, or even just your favorite part about being part of that community?
I think I would have to say it's there is a genuine feeling that everyone in the Irish community kind of cares about everyone. Sometimes you run into somebody that you haven't seen in years, and they're very inquisitive about how's your family, how are the kids, how are your parents, and vice versa. I think growing up in this community, you kind of got to know people and what they were dealing with. And so it's kind of, it's a nice feeling when you can walk into, either one of the Irish American clubs or one of the great pubs that we have around here and run into some really genuine, caring people. It's a nice feeling in this community.
No, that sounds like a beautiful thing. Do you have any? That was really my last question for you. Do you have any other things that you want to add or talk about?
Not really. I do enjoy writing the kids column. It's kind of fun. But I will be honest, every time the first, second, or third kind of rolls around on the calendar, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to write?
Right.
But I have enjoyed it, and I've gotten some feedback from some adults. I'm hoping there are kids out there reading it. But I have gotten some positive feedback from a lot of adults, which makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I enjoy it, and I'll do it as long as I can.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having this interview with me and answering these questions. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.